you all for being here. This felt like a really wonderful and fitting moment to gather for this event, for this kickoff, with Simchat Torah just a couple of days behind us, and with Parshat Breshit, Shabbat Breshit, just before us. We're preparing, of course, this Shabbat to read once again from the very first words of the Torah scroll. Breshit bara Elokim et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. In other words, here we go again. And in other words, we are all always beginning. So I wanted to share just briefly, I started the day, I had the joy and privilege of starting the day today, early this morning, with a group of Jewish educators from Amsterdam who have come to Boston for a week of professional development as part of our Matarot program at Hebrew College. And the educators themselves were ranged from age 14 to 58. Yeah, you heard correctly. The youngest in the group were a couple of young 14-year-olds, serious, delightful young people wanting to deepen their work as Jewish educators. So I have to tell you, as an aside, if you're ever feeling a little bit hopeless about the Jewish future, just give me a call. You can come spend the day sort of following me around through my job, and I promise you'll feel better. Anyway, we spent some time this morning looking at a range of rabbinic texts reflecting on the question, why does the Torah start with the letter Bet? Second letter of the alphabet. Why not, after all, Aleph, the first letter of the alphabet? Or for that matter, why not any of the other letters? I personally love the fact that in some of the midrashim, the other letters get jealous. Makes me feel better about myself. Anyway, the range of answers offered by the midrashim that we looked at was stunningly wide, and of course, we just barely scratched the surface. Some of them look at the shape of the letter itself. It's closed on three sides and open only on one side, with that side facing forward, to teach us don't spend too much time looking up, don't spend too much time looking down, don't spend too much time looking backwards. In other words, don't dwell on what's in the heavens, don't dwell on what's in the depths, don't dwell on what is back before the beginning of the beginning, before creation itself. Focus on this world and on your deeds in this world. Others looked at the numerical equivalent of Bet, of the letter Bet, which is the number 2, suggesting two kinds of awe, the kind based in fear, the kind based in wonder, or two worlds that we should keep in mind, this world and the world to come. Others looked at words beginning with the letter Bet. So the word bracha, meaning blessing, and that particular midrash teaches that the Bet of Breshit is there to remind us that God wanted to create the world in blessing. Or Bait, another one says, no, it's about Bait, meaning home, and that the Bet of Breshit is there to remind us that the world is our home and God is the world's home. So here's what I want to emphasize for tonight, that we are inheritors in and of an interpretive tradition that is so richly, exuberantly creative that there are countless commentaries on just the first letter of the Torah itself. Multiply that by every verse, every word, every letter of the Torah, and you have a vast universe of possibilities to both anchor and challenge us. The different voices heard, the different questions asked, the different points of view preserved and put into dialogue with one another are all part of course, of what is meant by Shivim Panim LaTorah, that there are infinite facets to every word and letter of Torah, which brings us to the teaching from Ben Bag from Pirkei Avot that gave us our title for this evening's session. Turn it and turn it, hafoch ba, dekula ba, turn it and turn it again, for everything is in it. Whether we're new to the world of Jewish study or have been engaged in it for decades or for our entire lives, we are asked to come to it new, with fresh eyes, with open minds, ready to discover something in the text or something in ourselves that we've never noticed before, or that we've forgotten and need to learn and learn again, since we know that's true with the most important things. So, and we do all of this together in chavruta, with friends, in community, in relationship, because we're taught Eina Torah niknet ela b'chavura, that Torah can only be acquired in community. We need to listen across the generations. We need to listen across differences in our own generation for the fullness of Torah to unfold and for our own hearts to open. In that spirit, I want to leave you actually with one more interpretation of that first bet of the Torah, which is that it is to be read together with the very last letter of the entire Torah, which is the lamed of the word Yisrael, the lamed of the word Israel. And together that lamed from the very end of the scroll and the bet from the very beginning of the scroll form the word lev, which means heart, and reminds us that this whole thing is about the opening of the heart. So I am truly, truly honored to introduce now our four inspiring teachers for this evening, teachers who I have the joy and honor of working with every day here at Hebrew College. And those teachers, I think, are judging from our numbers this evening, I think are already well known to many of you, but I just wanted to briefly introduce them and their topics before we split into the breakout rooms. One of the sessions will be taught by Rabbi NEHEMIA POLEN, who's professor of Jewish thought at Hebrew College and a leading expert on HASIDISM and Jewish thought. I really encourage you to go look at his full bio on the website, but I will also mention that in addition to being an incredible scholar, he was also a congregational rabbi for 23 years, and I find him to be both a wonderful and inspiring resource in terms of his scholarship and teaching, and also his experience, his lived experience leading a community in that way. He will be teaching a very brief, this is the title, a very brief introduction to Kabbalah. So Kabbalah in 20 to 25 minutes, amazing. That'll go to that breakout room if you want to learn with Rabbi POLEN. Rabbi Or Rose, who is the director of the Betty Ann Greenbaum Miller Center for Interreligious Learning and Leadership at Hebrew College, founding director, also one of the founding faculty members of the Rabbinical School of Hebrew College. Or, thank you so much for being here. And Or will be teaching in one of his many areas of expertise, which is Hasidism, and the title of his session is The Creative Imperative in Early Hasidism. Rabbi Moses Chaim EFRAYIM of SUDILKOV on Genesis. So that's session number 2. Number 3 is with Rabbi Shani Rosenbaum, who is an ordinee of the Rabbinical School of Hebrew College and joined our faculty in 2021. And we're so honored to be able to feature you here tonight. Shani is a member of the faculty of the Rabbinical School and also has been a really beloved teacher in our adult learning programs over the last couple of years. And her topic is Good and Mad, Divine and Human Anger in the Talmud. So if you're feeling angry, no, anyway, yeah, if you're feeling angry, go check out the session with Shani. And finally, the fourth session with Dr. Susie Tanchel, who is the vice president of Hebrew College and an amazing nationally regarded educational leader and amazing thought partner and colleague, and formerly, some of you may know her, formerly as the head of school at JCDS, Boston's Jewish Community Day School, for 9 years before coming to Hebrew College almost 3 years ago now. So, and her topic is the transformative power of learning with Dr. Susie Tanchel. So again, we'll come back together for a very brief farewell at about 7:40 p.m. And for now, I just want to express my gratitude again to this wonderful group of teachers for being with us this evening and for all of your teaching in our community. And thank you all for being here. So let's move into the breakout sessions.